we spent my days off, my 3 days off that I got home from trucking, building a shed in his backyard. I was gonna spend the whole day with him. We did a lot of work. We went out to eat lunch. He cooked brisket. I miss his root beer brisket. We came back, we built the shed, we finished it. He went into what he called his bear chair, his big, brown, fluffy chair, comfortable as hell. And I was just peaceful, sitting with him while he was peaceful. It was good, because I knew he needed his rest. I gave him a forehead kiss, woke him up, told him I was gonna get headed out. And I don't know what happened. I was tying my boots. And something clicked and told me, if you don't hug that man right now, you're gonna regret it. So I got up and I hugged him. I hugged him tight. My last memory of my dad is a really big, warm hug.
The next few years of his life really were like the best years I ever got with him. In a way, like, this was probably one of the most foundational moments, not only in like me and my siblings' life with him, but I think in his own life with himself, to actually come to terms with it was really easy to be a dad all along, to be someone who is there for the people that matter to you. I remember the time around he passed, and it was one of my spring breaks. My dad always still tried to make like special moments with us, rekindle the thing that he never really had. So when we got this trip to go up to the Keene Valley in the Adirondacks, it was really, really special to me and him. We, did 2 or 3 hikes. We kayaked on Lake Placid. We went up to a few other mountains. I think we hit Whiteface. We walked the ridgeline, a few other things. And I remember there were a few instances along the trip where I really knew my dad's health was in rapid deterioration. He was out of breath. He couldn't really, move and do as much as he wanted to on this trip. And it was, heartbreaking, but, he still, got us that spot just across the water, just across the road from the river, the Great Salmon River, where he wanted to teach me how to fly fish. He bought me all the gear, all the rod, everything that, he thought we needed. And we started to fly fish, and it was, not easy. I think anyone who fly fishes will actually know that it's a pain in the ass to learn. But I don't think that was the point, was to teach me how to do it perfectly. I think, spending that time with him and getting the quality time I never got as a kid, that's what mattered the most to me. That Sunday, it was 420. It was actually his younger sister Michelle's birthday. And I remember sitting there with him looking out over the water from the truck. We were up, I remember the exact outfit he was wearing. We were up by Spruce Pond. He goes, "Oh, it's your aunt's birthday. I never call her on her birthday." And rings her up, and he has this whole conversation with her. I say hi, and it was really, beautiful. And, Aunt Michelle, she tells me to this day, she goes, "I knew something was up because he never calls on time." He called himself the cockroach at this point because he's like, "Oh, they can't kill me, nothing gets me." And I think it's the next day, I have a spaghetti dinner for Boy Scouts. It's a fundraising thing we do, and my dad stopped by, and it's crazy to think that this was the last time I was ever gonna see him. I looked across this big area where everyone else is eating their dinner. My dad picked his dinner to go just to support it. And I saw him there with my younger sister, my stepmom, and I looked over and I saw him, and he waved goodbye. You know, it passes to Monday. I go to school. I have my Boy Scouts meeting that night, and it's during the meeting my mom calls me and she says, "Hey, your dad's in the hospital." I remember my mom never sounded like this when she told me. She's like, "It's really bad." And I go, "Well, how bad?" She goes, "I'll tell you when I see you." So she pulls up. I get in the car. My pastor comes out from the church, and he passes me a blue shawl that was knitted by a few people in the community. It was a prayer shawl, and we get in the car and we're going up, and my mom's like, "It's really bad. He had a heart attack last night." And I didn't know until, now that it was so bad. He's medically intubated, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant. His sister Michelle was there. My younger sister was there. My uncle was there, his brother-in-law, and my dad was getting a machine that was pumping his heart, and there was a tube going down his throat, and he was non-responsive. So being medically intubated, you can supposedly hear everything that's going on. You can't see, you can't communicate, nothing. I remember the nurses consoling me, saying "Hey, your dad's, he's getting the best care possible. This is the best equipment we can possibly give someone." And I remember, I remember sitting there looking at him, and everybody's telling me this is really bad this time. We don't know what's gonna happen. We really don't know what's gonna go on. The next few hours are gonna be really important. So he had the heart attack, I think, was a blood clot in his leg, and they gave us, they talked to me and my stepmom and my mom, and they said, "Listen, they might have to cut his leg off." And we also don't know that even if we do that, if it's gonna help, or if the oxygen's been away from his brain for so long that he's never gonna be the same. And I already knew that my dad hated, going downhill and, having all these issues, these medical problems. It affected him at such a deep level. He just hated it. He hated not being able to move. He said he had the mind of an 18-year-old in a 80-year-old body. He was 49, and he always said he would never make it to 50. It was less than a month from his birthday. The nurses gave me some time. Everybody left the room, and I got to say a few words. They just said, "We're gonna give you some time to talk to him and say what you need to say, because we don't know what's gonna happen." And I told him, "I forgive you for everything. I wasn't ready to. I was 14. I'm not ready to, see my dad go or let go of the things that happened. We still had to talk about it. And I still did it. And I think that was the moment I became a man. And I remember after that happened, I said, "Well, my sister's not here. She's over the road truck driving. She was on her way back. She was rushing back." And she knew how bad it was, and I called her and I said, "Listen, he can hear you. He won't be able to say anything, but I'm gonna give you to him on the phone."
And I just begged him to stay. I told him I wasn't ready. I told him I needed him to walk me down the aisle. I had just gotten engaged. And I never said goodbye.
My sister's 7 years older than me. She's doing her whole life, and here I am, stepping up to the best way that I can at this age. And I remember saying goodbye that night. I didn't want to go home, but my mom said I had school tomorrow, the next day, and we went home. I go to bed, and 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, my mom opens the door, and she looked at me. She said he was gone. And I never felt anything like that in my life.